Genshin Impact 1.3 is in high gear as we now enter the Lantern Rite event. But first, we're here to check out the Theater Mechanicus event. That's similar mechanics as a standard tower defense, but in Genshin Impact world. So before anything, you need to have one Geo Lantern every time you play a single game of Theater Mechanicus. So right now I don't have one, so thankfully the game placed a crafting bench here, near here. So, by the way, just a quick tip: you need these three ingredients to craft the Xiao lantern. You can get these lantern fibers from harvestable plants. You can get them from berries. I don't know if you can get them from sunset. Yes, I haven't tested that yet. You can get them from mints, sweet flowers, and a bunch of plants that you can find in Taipan. Then the weak material you can get that from hilichurl type enemies. So the lava churls and the small hilichurls, you can get them. The grenadiers, the you can also get them from Patui Elite and the Plusterite shard. You can get them from harvestable ores, Geobishop hatchlings and Geobishops. I'm not gonna touch those. And Stonehide lava churls with the stone armor. I'll just craft them all. Once you have that, you go back to the Theater Mechanicus NPC. Select play around. And in here, you can choose which type of difficulty. But you can only unlock the next difficulty if you complete the difficulty before that. So I've already completed the difficulty 1. Then once you complete that, the next difficulty gets unlocked and then so on. If you finish each stage, you get these Mechanicus sigil. I don't know if I mentioned that right, but these you're gonna use these to upgrade your towers. You can go here in armory and then you can upgrade your towers right here, which I haven't done yet for the sake of this video. Just a quick tutorial on how these towers work. It's if you've ever played any tower defense game in your life, it's pretty much the same thing. You can upgrade your you can place towers all over the stage, and each difficulty has a different map, I believe. And each level upgraded for the towers, it gets stronger. So right now I'm still at level 1, and let's say I want to upgrade my pyro tower. So from base attack 500 it goes all the way to 1250. But I need 75, what do you call this? Veneficus sigil to upgrade it. So here we go. And there's no prompt if you want to do it or not, so be careful. So confirming that for now. So anyway, what do these towers do? Each tower has its own element, like just like in the game. So we have the hydro, the pyro, the cryo, electro, and this recovery mechanicus. We're going to get there in a bit. First is let's talk about the hydro. The hydro has a very small range at level 1. It creates a ripple effect. Then the pyro tower launches a fireball. It's quite powerful, I would say, but it's very slow. So, but it can break lateral shields, and then the cryo tower, it can freeze opponents, so you can stop them in their tracks. As for the electro tower, in my opinion, has the highest or the fastest attack speed in comparison with the other towers, but it does decent damage, not so much. So anyway, this recovery mechanicus or recovery tower will generate Beneficus points, which you need to construct more towers and play around with the stage. There are mechanics in the stage where and you can interact with them to help you out in times of need. So if there's this tower near an opponent that's defeated, you gain extra points for that, but it doesn't attack, to better strategize where you want to place this thing. So without further ado, we'll start with that, and I'll just go back to the first multiplier for the sake of this video. Oh, but before that, I forgot. You can also do co-op for this event, but it's only limited to 2 players, so keep that in mind. Once you click on start, you're going to choose whichever character you're gonna bring to the stage. But just a reminder, you can't do any damage here. Here you're gonna deal damage through the towers. But you can still play around by using the elemental reactions. So for this stage, I'm gonna remove Ningguang and Albedo because, in my opinion, Geo doesn't really do much here except they can knock back enemies. So I will take Barra and Sucrose. Sucrose is very good here. I'll show you in a bit. Official. I would suggest bringing one of each element if you can, because sometimes the stages throw random things at you. Multiple elements will do you good here. So here's the stage. You have about just over a minute. Make sure the enemies don't reach this blue portal thing. You can place constructs here. You have markers. So I'm going to place a hydro here, 2 electros, and for the last one, I think I'm gonna go with this. There you go. You can also press P on your keyboard if you're on PC to start the wave, or if you're on PS4, you can press the L3 and R3 buttons at the same time. I'm not really sure how to do that on mobile because I don't really play on mobile. Anyway, let's wait for the counter to reach 0 before it starts, and we'll see which comes out first. Now I'm gonna switch to Sucrose, and you'll see in a bit why she's kinda OP here. You can also use Jean, but unfortunately I don't have Jean. You see the electro towers are starting to attack. You see the water just splashes about in a small range. The thing with Sucrose is you can push them back a bit. Like this. Oops, sorry about that. So you can delay their advance if you want. Now again, as you've noticed, I can't do any damage unless it's with the towers. There we go. Now every time a wave finishes, you get the screen. You can apply buffs or debuffs depending on how you want your game to progress. But be fast because it's only a limited number of seconds before you can do that. I'm gonna go with this. Then again, it's over a minute. We can add more towers. I think I'm gonna place 2 pyro towers here. I like to keep everything in balance if you haven't noticed. The thing is, I don't have enough sigils left. So, I'm gonna start the wave instead of waiting. I hate these Samotros because they run. You can also use Claymore characters to break the shields. That's it. Wave 2 complete. Now, when this screen appears, I forgot to mention earlier, you can also see a preview of what monsters will appear in the next wave. And then you can also apply a buff, but there's also a debuff, and you don't know what's going to happen unless you click it. So let's try. Cannot switch characters, and characters are rendered unable to attack or use for one wave. Okay, I can't switch, so I'm stuck with Xinyan for now. We'll see how far we'll go. I'm going to put 2 Electro here for the overload effect, and I think one more Hydro here. Let's start. So I can't attack either. I'm pressing the left click on my mouse button and there's nothing happening. Hopefully my towers will be able to keep up with these monsters. But if they can't, if you've noticed, each time I defeat an enemy, my sigils go up so I can place more if I want to. So far, my towers are doing good. There you go. For the last wave, then there's this. In the next wave, one speedy meter will appear randomly along the path. Complete this fearless challenge to obtain additional Mechanicus sigils at the end of the stage. This is an extra challenge, and it'll give you bonus sigils when you complete it with this challenge. And next is we have the Pyro and Cryo Abyss Mages. So let's confirm that. So Pyro and Cryo. Placing that here. Here. If you notice, I can only put 14 towers maximum for this stage. So if I try doing one more, it'll give me a warning. So let's start with that and hopefully we can succeed. And it's dead. The thing about these Abyss Mages, at the very least, you can break their shields using elemental reactions, like I'm doing here with Barbara. But the towers still do more damage than what I can dish out, but you know it helps. And that's it. There you go. So once you get this, you can exit the event proper. And then when you check out the event screen, you can go here to the Theater Mechanicus tab. You're going to complete challenges. If you see here, I already cleared the stage at difficulty 1 or higher in Theater Mechanicus. The next one I have to complete difficulty 2. But since I already finished the first level, I can't receive any more of these peace talisman. Now, you need these peace talismans to convert those 1000 of those for one of these characters, and it's yours for free. Alright, so that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next one.